The shoulder where you got that bit is starting to flare up. Pain starts to lance throughout your body.
Well, these are zombie rules.
Thanks for joining us. Please come have a seat at the table. We're about to begin. Is everyone ready? All right. So, when last we left the Sunday nights, we had climbed the tower and searched for the Windtalker's treasure. At the top floor, they come upon the alchemy lab filled with books and tools of the craft. Sitting in the only chair is the owner of the tower, Hazir. Through a cruel twist of fate, he became an immortal, but is still able to age. He tells the party that what they are looking for is his lamp, the one that erected the tower and cursed the town with the angler. Now that the monster is defeated, Hazir wants the heroes to take the lamp and do with what they wish. Outside the tower, the Windtalker appears to come take the lamp back and to show the group who Drazat actually is. We are taken back in time to witness the lizard folk as he is lost in the desert and stumbles upon a crystalline flower. After eating the flower, Drazat changes into a beast made of crystalline scales and a thirst to infect everyone in the desert. With a final warning, the Windtalker leaves the group for good. Drazat is after the heart. So we're going to start with Ellie and Galaxia up in the tower, and you three standing guard. So, what do you all do?
I am with Hazir. I'm letting him use me to help make this oil, with Ellie assisting us with making the oils. So I guess he has to use my arms and whatnot to help make the oil.
Hazir he's unable to really move himself, so he's just going to walk you through the steps on how to make an alchemical oil using the supplies that he's told you to get.
Okay, so what supplies do we need?
First thing is you need to get the vials. So in the alchemical set, you have vials, the stomach acid, of course. You need an agent to basically bond to the stomach acid so it doesn't eat through the glass. And then you need a magical component. Everything that you need can be found. And he's also saying that you need water from the well at the bottom of the tower.
That's fine. I already have some in my water skin. We can use that.
Perfect. Each time that you make one of the potions, it's going to take you about 10 minutes, okay? And you're going to need to make a DC alchemical check. Of the two of you, do you guys have any proficiency in the alchemy kit?
I'm going to assume that Ellie's going to probably be better at this, but I'm going to assist her to give her advantage.
Okay.
I rolled a 19 in Arcana. Is that going to be the one?
No, so it's going to be an intelligence check. Okay.
Oh, okay. So just for rolling intelligence.
You're going to roll straight intelligence.
Okay.
And do you have proficiency in the alchemical set?
I don't believe so. I don't think I have that because I have the brewery kit.
All right. So you roll with advantage. So what was your first roll?
My first roll for intelligence, geez, I got a 6.
No, you haven't. You have advantage, so it would have been a 9.
So a 9 is not enough to make the oil. So as you're putting the ingredients together, your hand kind of slips and you knock over the acid and it starts boring a hole through the table. And you're like,
I'm too nervous about this. I don't know what I'm doing.
All right.
Calm yourself, Ellie. Focus. We'll get through this. What was step 1 again?
Azir's like, calm down. From the top. All right. So while they are in the tower, Lucian, Kiefer, and Hans, what are you three doing as this glint comes closer?
I am going to fly up into the air about 30 feet.
Mm-hmm.
And then I am going to holler to the other guys and point at it and say, hey, I think there's another one of those things that ate me.
Go ahead and roll me a perception check.
That's going to be a 16.
16. It is not an angler. There are multiple bodies that are actually heading towards you. One of the things that are coming at you is riding this giant creature, about twice the size of a horse. It has a very sharp nose and its body seems to be very metallic. The rider himself seems to be made almost like he's wearing crystalline armor, and they're all heading towards you. The rest of them seem to be lizard folk, and they're charging for the tower.
Then I am going to holler out to the rest of the party and tell them that there's people incoming, and then I am going to head towards them.
It'll take them about 10 minutes to get to you, so you're going to meet them in the middle?
Yes, but I'm going to stay kind of floating above them.
Lucian, Hans, what are you two doing?
I am going to hide in one of the buildings. Actually, I think I'm going to hide in the building on the top left-hand corner of the map. This is Hans. I'm going to hide in there and go into stealth just in case things pop off, and I'm going to sneak up and stab said dude if it doesn't go according to plan.
Go ahead, roll me a stealth check, Hans.
Sick. Hans rolled an 18.
Well, actually, you know what, Hans? Describe to me how you're hiding.
Hans is going to drop into a crouch and kind of like slalom towards the top left hand of our map representation here, and he's going to hide in the corner just outside the doorway, or inside the doorway.
Lucian, what are you up to?
I'm going to cast a minor illusion to create the illusion of our bag of bones upstairs to be standing in the open about, I'm going to say, just underneath where Kiefer is floating.
You cast like a mirror image of Hazir, just kind of standing there in his undead glory.
Correct. Defiantly standing in his glory.
Okay. So the creatures will ride up. They'll see this undead creature kind of just appear out of midair. They all look up to see Kiefer flying overhead, the one on the top of the massive creature, which is a bullet, by the by. He'll look at you, then he'll get off his creature, and he'll walk over to the undead illusion. What do y'all do?
As the minor illusion cantrip is just that, a cantrip, I will use it to kind of make my image incline his head towards the approaching person.
Lucian, as you make Hazir nod, the lizard folk will take off his weapon from his back and then slice the undead's head off. The weapon goes right through him because it is an illusion. Kiefer, you will see the lizard folk spit at the ground and then give the order to charge ahead to ignore the illusion.
All right, so are they being combative towards us?
They seem to be very aggressive.
All right, it looks like it's time to die. You want me to do an attack as I dive in, or do you want to do roll initiative?
Go ahead, do an attack.
All right, so I am going to charge at him. Does a 16 hit?
16 will not hit.
That is a bonus action to hit with my hooves. So I miss with my hooves, and then I am going to attack with my sword.
Go ahead.
Does a 25 hit?
A 25 will hit.
So I'll do 6 piercing damage, and then I am going to attack one more time with the sword. Or actually, no, I am going to attempt to hit him with my shield and knock him prone. Actually, I can't do that because that would be a bonus action.
Oh, that's right. You use your bonus action for the charge.
Does a 21 hit?
21 will hit, yes.
That's going to do 10 more piercing damage.
Okay. Kiefer, as you plunge your sword into the creature, the tip of your blade keeps scraping off of the crystalline of its body. You feel like your attacks are not going through all the way. I don't believe our master has one of you. So Lucian, Kiefer, and Hans all go ahead and roll initiative.
I rolled a 22.
Lucian rolled an 11.
Hans rolled a
17.
So Kiefer, you are up. You are facing the head lizard folk. The other ones are trying to swing past you. And behind the big lizard folk is, of course, his mount, the dreaded bullet. What do you do, Kiefer?
I'm going first. So this guy in front of me, I'm going to hit, and then I am going to shield. Or actually, I'm going to stab twice and then shield. Does an 18 hit?
18 will not hit.
Does a critical 20 hit?
Yes, that will hit.
All right, so that is going to be 7 plus 4 critical damage.
Takes 11 points of damage. Oh, half that, actually.
And then my shove.
All right, go ahead, shove. It's a strength check, correct?
I believe it is an athletics check.
Okay, he got a 14.
I got a 12. By the way, I have a plus 8 to my athletics.
Sometimes the dice just not roll in your favor. You go to shield bash him. The lizard folk puts his back foot, digs into the sand, and he meets you force for force and just bashes you away. You cannot beat me in strength, little horse. Kiefer, are you doing anything else?
Nay.
I am not doing anything else, but I want to say I am very frustrated with the shield push. It has not worked a single time in this campaign, but the time it does eventually happen, I'm manifesting it here right now. When it does happen, it's going to be epic.
Awesome. I have just the sound effect for that. All right. Hans, it is your turn.
Hans is going to try to sneak up on this dude here.
Okay.
All right, so he's going to sneak out, so I'm going to do a stealth check first.
Okay. You already did a stealth check with your hide.
Oh, so I don't need another check to sneak out
hidden.
and try and stab?
No, you're hidden.
All right, cool. So he's going to sneak out.
So you're going to outflank and shank one of the little guys.
So describe what you're doing.
Okay, so Hans is going to go out the door. He's going to be crouched real low with his rapier drawn. He's going to crouch down and try and sneak up and flank one of the lizard folk and stab him in the back.
Go ahead, roll for an attack.
He rolled a 9.
That didn't do it.
It did not. So Hans is gonna be like, "Oh no," and he's gonna run away,
All right.
or as we like to call it in D&D, disengage.
The lizard folk looks at you. Your attack glances it off of its hide armor. He looks over. He hisses, and then he's going to give chase on his turn. Lucian, it is your
Oh
turn.
no!
Lucian's going to step up and take up the right flank of Kiefer to stop him from being flanked. I'm just going to throw my Staff of the Python over towards the opposite side where Hans was just unsuccessful, speaking the command word to make it spring to life.
Okay.
I will then command that Python to grapple the missed adversary.
So I have to roll a strength check to get out of that, correct?
Correct.
It's a constrictor, correct?
It's described as a giant constrictor snake, so it gets a bite attack.
Oh, giant constrictor snake.
Correct. I'm not sure why. I think that whispered to you, but the constrictor rolled 22 on his attack.
So that creature will do 14 points of bludgeoning damage to the monster, and on his turn, he is constricted, and on his turn, you'll have to do a check to get out of it.
Correct.
Lucian, you throw it, a huge snake appears basically out of the wood. It brings its head down to bite upon the lizard folk and wraps and coils its body. The lizard folk is not freaked out, but understands that it's about to die. The head lizard folk looks at you, Kiefer. Its weapon starts to glow with a very eerie light. Flecks of black and gold appear through the weapon as if hit by some type of electricity. It's going to bring its weapon down upon you, Kiefer.
I would like to cast a fireball right here.
Okay. So the fireball is going to go off. All right, go ahead, roll for damage.
That comes up as 29 fire damage for anyone not making a DC 16 dex save.
Hey, am I clear of that?
Ish.
No.
Ish.
If I do snap to corner, yes, you are clear of that. It hits the snake too.
Well, I passed my save either way.
Well, you don't take any damage because you're out of range. So the bullet will do an 18, so that he will save.
For half, right?
For half, yep. And the marauders, so let's see, 4 marauders. So 1 will pass, that one will fail, that one will pass, and the one, he got a 14, so he will fail. So the one that was in the snake, he is dead now.
Yay. Can the snake just swallow him for cool points?
Yeah, go ahead. So you cooked your snake's meal,
Yeah, he appreciates it. Mr. Slithers.
Mr. Slivers.
I
All
like
right.
that.
So this one passed, so half of 29 is 15.
You can totally be like, get him, Slithers.
You cannot hide from the light. Fireball.
Yeah, 29 is 14.
When you cast Fireball, the marauders all take damage. The bullet will take a little bit of damage, and the head lizard folk, the one with the crystalline body, the fire hits him, and then it kind of just washes away from him. He takes damage, but not a huge amount. Is that the end of your turn, Lucian? Are you moving? Do anything else?
No, that's me. Thanks.
The head lizard folk will look at you, Kiefer. His weapon will start to glow with an eerie black and golden light. Looks like flecks of lightning running through it. He'll slash at you for a 10 and a 21. 21 hit you?
21 does hit me, yes.
All right, you're going to take 9 points of slashing damage. And then the third attack, another 21, 11 points. So you're going to take a total of 20 points of damage for this turn. The lizard folk that was next to the bullet, he's going to try to go past the snake and run after Hans. Yeah.
That sounds like an attack of opportunity.
Can the snake make an attack of opportunity? It doesn't have a weapon.
It has a mouth and bite attacks.
All right, go ahead.
And a constrict attack.
Oh, okay.
And for dessert, we have an 18
That will hit.
for 11 bludgeoning damage.
And the creature is restricted. He starts to head towards Hans. The giant snake will lash out, grab hold of him, and then start to twist him up in its muscles. This lizard folk will come down and try to defend his captain. Kiefer, 15 to hit.
15 misses.
Okay, 16 to hit.
16 also misses.
And an 8 will miss as well. The other lizard folk he ducks behind the tower, and the bullet will actually ram itself into the tower itself. Ellie, Galaxia, go ahead and make me another alchemy check. See if you're making any oil.
Sure.
Ooh, that's a good roll. 17.
Okay. Yeah, I rolled a 17.
Okay. As you're pouring the oil into the vial to complete it, the tower will have an impact. It starts to shake and stutter. You spill a little bit of the oil onto the floor, but you're able to get most of it in. Azir goes, "What was that?"
Sounds like something's trying to knock down the tower, but we need to keep focus on this and still get whatever we can out of this oil and put it in these vials.
Oh my gosh, I'm just starting to get this right. Why won't this thing stay still?
We'll get through this.
All right. You have 1 vial of oil. Kiefer, it's your turn.
So the guy to the north of me is the guy that I've already stabbed. Then we have the bullet to the northeast of me. And then to the east of me, who is that?
That is one of the lizard folk, marauders. The head lizard folk is what is known as a plague-touch lizard folk. You have the bullet next to him, and then right next to you on your right-hand side is one of the lizard folk marauders.
All right, so I'm going to stab both of the guys, the one to the north and the one to the east, and then I'm going to shield bash the bullet.
Okay. Sounds like a great plan.
Does a 24 hit?
Which one?
The one to my north.
24 will hit the plague touched.
And then I am going to be attacking the one on my east.
How much damage for the plague touched?
That was 8 piercing damage. And then does a 24 hit the other one?
A 24 will hit the other one.
That's going to be 10 piercing damage to him.
He kind of hisses out in pain. He's not looking well. Fire and blood now cover his body. Kiefer, anything else?
Yes, I have my shield bash for the bullet.
Go ahead, shield bash the bullet.
10.
Okay. 13. It resists. Okay, Kiefer, anything else?
Nope.
Hans, it is your go.
Hans is going to he's going to give chase after the lizard folk that was wound up by the constrictor, and he's going to try and stab it while it's in the constrictor's muscles.
All right, go ahead. While it's wrapped up in the constrictor's tail.
Do I get that with advantage, or is it a normal attack?
You can take advantage.
Sick. That is a 20 and a 23 to hit.
The 23 will hit.
Right. I will give you 11 piercing damage.
The creature dies while bound up in the snake's body. The snake is just going to put its head, just strike out with its head, and then swallow the lizard folk whole. It now has 2 large lumps in its throat, and it's just going to start to work and swallow them down. Are you doing anything else, Hans?
Yes, I am going to use the rest of my movement and start migrating this way. And I'm going to start moving towards the rest of the lizard folk and the bullet. And that will end my turn.
Lucian, you have a lizard folk marauder on you and a bullet fairly close to you.
Uncomfortably close.
What do you do?
I am going to cast Cure Wounds on Kiefer.
Okay.
Can I let him know that if he wants to back up, I can impose disadvantage on the attack of opportunity?
To be perfectly honest, I wasn't planning on staying near this bullet.
Yeah, no, I assumed, but I just didn't want you to be afraid of that. I mean, it's still a possibility, but I can help.
Oh, I'm not worried. So I will cast Cure Light Wounds on Kiefer, touching him on the shoulder and returning 11 of his hit points. And I will use my move action to move back and away from the bullet.
So the bullet's not close enough to take an attack of opportunity, but the marauder is close enough. So he's going to swing. He's going to swing at you unless someone does something.
I am going to impose disadvantage.
All right, with a disadvantage, he swings at you for a 12.
Swing and a miss. Armor class 15.
All right, Lucian, anything else?
No. Catch my breath.
Next up are the lizard men, lizard folk. I need Lucian, Hans, and Kiefer all to go ahead and make me a wisdom saving throw.
Hans rolled a 13.
Okay.
Lucian rolled a 15.
Okay.
Kiefer rolled a 14.
You all were successful. So the plague-touched lizard folk, his eyes will go completely black, and he'll let out this roar, and it's unnatural, and it kind of just reverberates through everyone. And you have this sense, this primal sense of fear, but you're able to shake yourselves away from it. He'll look at you, he'll spit at the ground, and he'll start to chant. As he chants, his blade glows a little bit stronger, and then he'll go ahead and swing at Kiefer. 14.
Gonna be a miss.
And a 22.
That'll hit.
All right, Kiefer, I need you to make me a Constitution saving throw.
That's gonna be a 17.
You're going to take 5 points of slashing damage, and you're also going to take...
So did I fail?
No, you succeeded. So, Kiefer, you roll a 17 for your Constitution saving throw, correct?
That is correct.
Okay, you're going to take 5 points of slashing damage and 11 points of radiant damage as his weapon glows with an unholy light, strikes down upon you. There's a blinding flash when it hits, and you're able to shield your eyes and not become blinded. That's what the Constitution saving throw was for. The Marauder on your right, he's actually going to head towards the door.
I'm going to take an attack of opportunity. Does a 25 hit?
A 25 will hit.
And that's going to be 11 piercing damage.
And he's actually going to die from that attack. He turns to run away from you. You spin around, you stab him, and he'll just fall dead upon the sand. Hans and Lucian, go ahead and roll me a perception check.
Hans rolled a 20.
Lucian rolled an 18.
You guys just rolled really good for perception checks. The entire game you have. The lizard folk that had broken away from the party, he's actually swinging around to the other side of the tower, and he's going to try to enter the door. The bullet is going to hit the tower once more. I need Galaxia and Ellie to go ahead and make me Constitution saving throws.
Galaxia rolled 19.
A 3.
Ellie, as you're getting the stuff ready for the next batch of the oil, another strike hits the tower. It starts to shudder, and you actually lose your footing and you fall down prone. You break one of the vials.
Reaction to save that being cracked if I could. Do I have to do anything for that?
Go ahead and roll me a dex check.
23.
Perfect. Go ahead and describe what you do.
As we feel this shake and the tower shudders violently, I see Ellie lose her footing and she starts to fall. I see a vial coming out of her hand, and I make a diving catch for it and slide across the floor and prevent it from falling onto the floor.
Awesome. As Ellie and Galaxia gets back to their feet, you start to see the books on the shelf start to deteriorate. They start to age. The magical runes that were etched into it start to dim out and fade. With the constant assaults of the bullet, it seems like the magic of the tower is reaching its breaking point.
Does it seem like the walls are breaking or cracking?
Not yet, no.
Okay, what I want to do is, Ellie, I know you need to continue to work on these files. I'm going to head down below to the door and just be ready in case anything decides it wants to try to get in while you continue to work on the vials. Just try to complete whatever you can.
I'll have Hazir with me.
All right, so I'll tuck away the 2 vials that we did get done, and then I will move downstairs and be right at the entrance door with my long sword, short sword drawn out as I'm ready.
Kiefer, it's your turn. Where the bullet's hitting, you notice cracks start to form along the tower's wall.
I am going to then use both of my stabs and then try for one last shield bash. Does a 26 hit the bullet?
26 will hit the bullet.
That's going to be 9 piercing damage on the first hit. Does a 25 hit?
25 will hit.
And that's going to be another 6 piercing damage. And then a 27 athletics for the shield bash.
Do.
All right. So I knock it prone.
The bullet is knocked prone. You just count tipped a bullet. It is the best thing of the night.
Yeah. So I stab, then I have a reactionary stab pulling it back, and then I take my shield and I ram it underneath his chin, knocking him down while I push my whole horse body behind the shove.
The creature will groan and snap at you, but within a second it'll give way and it'll roll onto its side, and it's kind of stuck there just turtling right now. Its legs kind of in the air, unable to get any type of traction or footing. The plague-touched lizard folk will look at you, start to snarl and hiss. Are you doing anything else, Kiefer?
What more do you want from me?
You can move. I don't know. It's still your turn.
No, it's I'm good. I'm gonna stay put here and kind of make sure that I'm watching this guy next to me.
All right. Next up is Hans.
So Hans is feeling really invigorated by what Kiefer has just done to this bullet. So he's gonna move forward and he's gonna jump up and take a flying leap off of the ass end of Kiefer's flanks, and he's going to try and make a down stab right into the bullet.
Right into the bullet. Okay, go ahead and roll me an attack.
All right, so Hans rolled a 22 and a 20. I will give you 5 piercing damage and 15 sneak attack damage if it hits.
Hit. The creature will take 20 points of damage. It starts to try to claw at you with its feet, moaning in pain. Hans, are you doing anything else?
Yes, Hans is going to disengage and move back next to the constrictor.
Speaking of the constrictor, Lucian, you're up.
So as Hans disengages and skirts off to the side, the constrictor's going to come over top of him and lunge hungrily at the plagued lizard folk. 25.
25 will hit.
That's 8 bludgeoning damage, and he is grappled until the grapple ends. He is restrained.
All right, sounds good. So that was the constrictor. Lucian, what are you up to?
I am going to hammer the bullet with an Eldritch Blast.
Since you're level 8, how many of those do you get?
At level 5, it becomes 2 shots. 2 separate targets, but I'll direct both at the bullet.
All right, cool. Go ahead. Fire away.
And are those with advantage because he's proned out?
No, those are with disadvantage because he is proned out.
Roger. That's a 22 and a 17.
With disadvantage, both will still hit.
Sorry, making this look good. That's
How much damage?
That's a 22 and a 17 for a total of 39 damage.
That's your 2 hit. That's not the damage.
Wow. 26 total force damage. Sorry, 15 and 11.
Lucian, are you moving? Do anything else?
No, I'm fairly comfortable right there.
Okay, so the Plague Touch will, its turn. It's going to make a strength check to try to get out of the grapple, so go ahead and roll an opposing strength check.
So after handily dispatching 2 of the lesser lizard folk, 21 is the constrictor's strength check, which is good, but...
Yes, which is good, but the Plague Touch got a 24. He's going to rip himself out of there. Instead of using his massive weapon, he's going to claw at the giant snake. 14 to hit.
That'll do.
So the snake is going to take 5 points of damage, and I need the snake to make me a Constitution saving throw.
An 11.
11 will not pass. So where the creature's claws strike against the snake, Lucian, you see small iridescent crystals start to form on the wound. The snake itself starts to writhe in pain.
This makes me slightly uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm. The bullet is going to try to stand up. He doesn't have the momentum to ram the tower once more, so he's just going to take a bite at the nearest creature, which is Kiefer. 14 to hit Kiefer.
14 will miss Kiefer.
And Galaxia, as you get to the door, one of the lizard folk actually runs into the door. Open it up. He sees you. He's going to swipe at you with his weapons.
I'm going to use my racial ability for multi-defense attack. So basically that means is that after his initial attack, my armor class will increase by 4.
Okay. Critical, 25 to hit.
That'll do it.
All right, so you're going to take 9 points of slashing on the first attack. And the second attack, you have a +4 to your defense. Is that correct?
My armor class is 17.
So the 14 will not hit. And that's going to end his turn. All right, so Galaxia, you're down there. It is your turn. Go ahead.
I swing at this creature with my first attack with the long sword, short sword.
What'd you get?
I will miss that 9.
9 will miss.
14.
14 will miss as well.
15.
15 will hit.
4 points of damage on my first attack.
Actually, that's just enough to kill it. He was one of the ones that took a fireball to the face. He was point blank range.
So after I take him down on my move, I'll move back upstairs to Ellie to assist Ellie some more with the vials.
Ellie, while that's happening, what are you doing right now?
Well, if Galaxia's just showing up, I'm gonna look at him and ask, what in the world is going on out there?
Apparently there's a big creature trying to knock down the tower. So we have to continue to work quickly to try to make as many of these vials as we can before this tower starts to fall.
I wasn't already feeling pressured.
You got this.
Kiefer, it is your turn.
All right. I am going to... Actually, you know what? I'm going to throw my sword on the ground, and I'm going to pull out my hand axe and swipe at him with my hand axe. Does a 12 hit the bullet?
12 will not hit the bullet.
All right. I'm going to swipe again.
Okay.
Does a 23 hit?
23 will hit the bullet.
All right, and then I am going to use my bonus action. Sorry, that's going to be 8 slashing damage.
Okay.
But I'm going to use my bonus action to turn around and kick with my hooves.
Sounds fun.
Does a 17 hit?
17 will hit.
And that's going to be 6 bludgeoning damage.
Oh, wow. All right.
And that's going to end my turn.
The great and noble Hans.
Oh, yeah. Hans is going to step forward, and he's going to make another attack on the bullet.
Okay.
That is a 14.
Will not hit.
You need to bite it. Bite the bullet.
So Hans is going to attempt to bite the bullet. Give it a taste of its own. No. Hans is going to take another... he's going to use the rest of his movement to move back. And that will end his turn.
Okay.
I witnessed this fight.
You witnessed this fight. Lucian, it is your turn. I need you to make me a Constitution saving throw.
On myself or the snake?
The snake.
I will use a mental command to dismiss the snake into the staff, hopefully sparing it something terrible happening. And then I will further blast the bullet with a couple more Eldritch Blasts. 18 and 10.
18 will hit. So go ahead and roll for damage.
That's 8 force damage.
8 points of force damage. The bullet will die.
I win.
Anything else, Solution?
No, that will do. Actually, you know what? I'll recover my staff.
Seeing his beloved bullet die, the Plague Touch lizard folk will look upon you with rage. It drops its weapon and actually will charge at you.
Will that give me an attack of opportunity?
It will, Kiefer. It will indeed.
Does an 18 hit?
An 18 will hit.
That's going to be 10 slashing damage.
As your blade kind of dips into it, it glances off a lot of the crystals, and it's going to take it's going to take less than that.
That will be my reaction.
All right, Lucian. It's going to claw at you, hit you for a 20.
That'll do, yep.
You're going to take 4 points of damage. I need you to make me a Constitution saving throw.
22.
Its golden irises are going to roll back in its head. It's going to try to lunge and bite at your throat. 23 to hit.
That'll also do.
You are going to take 14 points of damage as its teeth sinks into you, and I need you to make me another Constitution saving throw.
Can't wait to see what appendage comes next if I make this one. Nope, that'll be a 9.
Galaxy, it is your turn.
First, we got to roll for another vial, right?
It's going to take a few minutes for the vials to be made.
I got 2 of the vials, so she's still working on number 3.
Yep.
I'm going to, as a free action, can I dip some oil into my arrows and stuff, or my arrows and use the oil in my arrows?
Yes, you can do that.
All right, I'll do that with one of the vials that I have here. Then I'll come back downstairs and come outside. And then if I have an attack option, I'd like to launch a couple arrows into that crystalline creature that's attacking Lucian. First, as a bonus action, Hunter's Mark.
Okay. Hunter's Mark.
24.
Oh, yes. 24 will hit, and you're using one of the oil.
Yep.
So you're using an arrow that's tipped with the oil. Go ahead and roll me your regular attack plus 2d6 of acid damage.
For the initial damage, it's 12.
Okay.
And then what was the acid?
2d6. So it's going to be 1d6 for the Hunter's Mark and then 2d6 for the acid damage.
Acid damage is 7, and then the Hunter's Mark will be an additional 5. So basically, I did 24 points of damage. That was with my first attack.
That's with your yes, that is with your first attack. So Lucian, this creature's teeth is closing upon your clavicle bone. You start to hear the cracking. It's about to break. All of a sudden, it releases its grips. Its eyes grow wide. It arches its back in pain. Go ahead, Galaxia. Fire away again.
Will miss on my second shot. I rolled a 10.
So you didn't hit the creature. You actually did miss your shot. The creature's eyes will snap over to you, and for a brief second, you can see what you think is fear in this creature's eyes. Kiefer.
Nice.
It's your turn.
All right, so I'm gonna move a little.
Before I would yell out, Kiefer, I have a vial for you. If you want to try to come over and get it from me.
Vial of healing.
It is a vial that will help you damage that creature.
All right, where are you on the map?
I am right by the tower.
Okay, so I am going to go down, grab the vial, and then fly back to the guy over here. And I am going to charge into him.
Roll for the charge.
Actually, sorry, I would not be able to do that, do the charge, but still.
Okay.
Not 30 feet straight, it's 30 feet total. And I missed that one word detail.
Gotcha. All right, anything else?
No, I'm gonna still go over there, grab the vial, and I drink it?
It's for you.
Okay.
Dude,
No. Is it for my weapon?
You know, when you came over and said, I have a vial for your weapon that will help you kill the creature.
I'm a fighter. I don't know what this stuff is.
Hashtag
A
attention
fighter
to
would
detail.
know.
And I drink.
No,
Ellie, you're up in the tower. You don't see this.
I know, but I
He
feel
grabbed-
something is wrong in the force, and I yell out, "No, don't do whatever you're doing."
Like, okay, so you fly over to the lizard folk and then you decide to drink it, or do you drink it while you're next to Galaxia?
I will. So you hand it to me. I take it and I start to slowly open the bottle and take a drink of it.
He said, no, use it on your weapon. It will do damage to that creature.
Oh, cool. Thanks. So then I'm going to put that on my weapon and then I'm going to head and stab the guy.
Okay.
All right. So I do it very quickly in a horse-like manner. Do that, swoop around, come on back, and stab.
All right, and you're going to get an advantage with that.
Actually, I do not stab. I swing because my sword is still on the ground. I'm still using.
That's right. You have an axe.
Does a 23 hit?
23 will hit.
That's going to be 8 slashing damage, along with whatever damage this stuff on my weapon does.
2d6 acid.
So 7 acid damage. And then, so me using the potion, would you consider that an action?
A bonus action to put it, to pour it on.
Okay. So that's going to give me another attack. So I'm going to swing again with the hand axe. Does a 14 hit?
Will not hit.
Okay. And then I am going to action surge for a third strike. Does a 24 hit?
24 will hit.
And that'll be 8 slashing damage plus another 2d6 acid.
Mm-hmm. That's correct.
That'll be another 7 acid damage. And that'll end my turn.
Hans.
Hans is going to step forward and attack the lizard folk guy.
Good.
Will a 17 hit?
Isn't it I have 2 attacks per action?
Yes.
I still have another attack.
What's your roll, Kiefer?
I rolled a 17.
17 will miss.
Okay, then I missed, and
All right.
that interruption was for nothing.
Okay, Hans, what are you doing?
Hans rolled a 17 to hit.
17 will not hit.
A 17 won't hit.
A 17 won't hit.
Hans will disengage.
All right.
How about a 17? Will a 17 hit?
I just missed with a 17 as well.
All right, Lucian, you're up. Need you to make me a Constitution saving throw.
Constitution save of 23,
All right, you're okay right at the moment.
except for the gnawing thing on my clavicle.
Yep, except for that. It's your turn. What would you like to do?
I think I am going to Shocking Grasp him. 18 to hit and 11 lightning damage. So that's 11 damage, and he cannot take reactions until his next turn. And I will stay right here so that when he runs away, I can eat his face.
But in a nice, friendly way.
And that's exactly what he would like to do.
In a gratuitous, pornographic way.
So he's going to try to dart away, heading south.
I am going to swing with my hand axe for 20 to 21 to hit.
21 will hit.
That's going to be 9 slashing damage, and then it's going to be...
6.
Is the acid still effective?
The acid is still effective right now, yes.
That's going to be 5 acid damage.
All right, Galaxy, it is your turn.
I will shoot at him with 2 arrows.
All right, fire away.
20.
20 will hit.
5 points of damage, then 8 more for the acid, and Hunter's Mark still, so that's another 5. So a total of 18 on my first attack.
Yeah. His back arches yet again.
I'm going to roll another 20.
20 will hit.
Hit him again for 5 normal damage. I'm going to do 7 more points of acid damage to him, and then with the Hunter Mark is another 6.
Galaxia, how do you deliver the final blow to this creature?
I see him running away, trying to get away. I wait for a moment as he's getting into my arrow. I just carefully launch back this arrow, and I launch it straight into the back of his head.
The arrow pierced right through the back of his head, shooting out of the creature's mouth. He trips over one of the small little dunes, collapses to the ground. His hand will outstretch, heading towards the southeast, and then he'll just collapse onto the sands. It's over.
All right, then. After he collapses, I will go back into the tower up to check on Ellie.
Okay.
I am going to recover my sword.
Hans puts his sword away and he looks down. He goes, "Oh my god, they got the juices on my body again!"
Lucian, what are you up to?
I'll go over and start dissecting the bullet, I guess.
Go ahead and roll me a survival check. What are you looking for?
Hey, how come every time we kill one of these big uglies, you guys have to go rooting around all in its insides?
Because these big uglies generally like to swallow things whole. There could be things of use. Or worst case Ontario, some useful stomach acid, or parts we can sell. The greater good.
What'd you roll me for that survival check?
I rolled a 21.
As you're dissecting it, you don't really see anything of note in its stomach, but the armor on its head especially is fairly durable and surprisingly lightweight. With the right craft, you can probably turn it into a very nice shield, or a breastplate maybe.
I will take it with me, cutting excess as not to damage the material, as I don't have that skill set.
Sure.
And I'll present it to Kiefer.
It's going to take you about 10 minutes to do that. In that time, the shoulder where you got that bit is starting to flare up. Pain starts to lance throughout your body.
Well, these are zombie rules.
Do you tell the rest of your party about what's going on?
I will bind the wound, and yeah, I'll just bind it.
Okay. Ellie, Galaxia, you guys are back up at the tower.
When I get back up top, I let Ellie know the danger has ceased. You should have no more worries. You should be able to focus on making some more vials.
Okay, good. Everything went well?
Oh, well-ish. They died. We lived.
That's good enough, I guess. What are we doing now?
Making some more vials.
Okay.
You're at it. Hazir will go, right now you're supposed to be adding the blood to the concoction, so the oil will not eat your weapons when you use it. So 3 drops, remember. 3 drops.
3 drops.
Hold
All right.
your-
3 drops.
Hold your hands steady. Keep calm. Everything's good now.
Okay.
Go ahead and make me another alchemy check.
17.
17 will produce another vial of oil.
Okay. Yay!
So in total, there are enough for 10 vials of this material. You've gone through 4 of them so far. So go ahead and roll me 6 more checks.
6 more?
6 more checks with advantage. And if you get anything higher than a 17, let me know, okay?
I have an 18, a 20, an 18, a 20, and a 17.
The one that you worked on after you finished it, you kind of messed up on, but you made 5 vials. So in total, I think you made 8 vials. They used 2 during the fight. You have 6 vials of this weapon oil.
Oil.
So this is called Oil of the Angler.
Okay.
Okay?
It's
English
fish
stuff.
oil.
Yes, it's omega
Yes,
3s.
It's omega 3s.
Extra refreshing.
So this is Oil of the Angler. So the oil will last for a minute. Anytime that you hit a creature with this oil, it does 2d6 of acid damage, and it ignores damage resistance. You have 6 vials total of this. Each vial is enough to coat 1 weapon or 5 pieces of ammunition.
All right, so we have packed up our vials. I have them stored. Hazir, anything else we must do to prepare?
Well, I don't have any more materials to make the oil, but
I'll start folding him back into his backpack.
and we don't have any materials to make any of the potions. This is as much help as I can provide you.
Thank you, Hazir, for all your assistance. It was quite beneficial.
It's good to be needed once in a while. Thank you very much.
Ellie walks out with Galaxia. This is the first time I've seen this whole battles drawn thing, so I'm looking at all these corpses laying around. I'm like, oh my goodness, what the heck happened here?
Did you not feel the vibrations of the tower?
I felt a bit of it, but it's not that I had any way to see what was going on.
It's the good vibration.
So I'm just seeing all these dead lizard folk, and I'm almost slightly traumatized by even just seeing the bodies, even if dead. It's almost like a dream I never wanted to have happen, I suppose.
Oh, I actually can't remember the last week I went through without killing someone. So
I'll pass her the necklace of ears that I was making for her from the fallen lizard folk.
He's like, for me, it was a Tuesday.
I will have to bring this back to my family. They will definitely appreciate this in some form.
So Ellie and Galaxia, you guys were up in the tower for about an hour making these oils. Hans, Kiefer, Lucian, what did you 3 do? I guess one of you was making a macabre necklace. Lucian
and looting the bodies.
And looting the bodies. Kiefer and Hans, what were you 2 up to during this hour of downtime?
We were looting the I was looting the bodies too to see if there was anything of use.
So the lizard folk, they have these strange curved swords, similar to a scimitar, but the blade is on the reverse side. Each of them is wearing pieces of hide armor that seem to be made from broken pieces of a bullet's armor plating. The weapon that the plague-touched lizard folk had is very similar to that of a glaive, but it's spiked. And the blade itself seems to be made from the same crystalline material that was covering his body. Lucian, Go ahead and give me a Constitution saving throw.
That's a 16.
You're doing well. You're doing very well right now.
Thank you. The light gives me strength.
Right now it is. Does anybody want to do anything else before you head out? Is anybody taking any of the weapons, any of the armor with you?
I'll take the glaive.
Be any weapons suitable for me?
What are you proficient in?
Well, I have a scimitar, but essentially I need like smaller type weapons.
Each of them is carrying a scimitar-like weapon, and they're also carrying daggers on them.
Ooh, let me grab the daggers.
Okay.
Maybe I'd like to examine one of the swords and see if there's any significant markings on it, looking for if there's any like clan-type markings on it.
Sure.
I'll take Hazir and the glaive, I guess.
The glaive feels good in your hands.
It does radiant damage. I am a creature of radiance.
So, Galaxia, you're looking over the weapons to see if there's any markings. They don't have like a tribal marking, but each of the blades seems to have scratches down the length of it. And they're all different. It's all different numbers. It almost looks like a tally being made.
Oh, okay.
You know, some of them have 5, some of them have 2, 1. That's what you see on each of the swords. So, what do you all do?
All right. Once we get everything done, let them know that we were able to make some more of the vials for the oil for future use. If we ever run into one of these creatures again, we'll have some more oil to use when needed.
We head back to the Queen, or is there anywhere else we need to go?
You have been given your answers, and you even were able to get a weapon against this creature. Your quest is done. The only thing that you have left is to return to the Queen.
It's like we need to get this oil to the Queen, and this would probably be the best weapon they could have against them.
We also have, do we have the recipe still? Because maybe if we kept that, then if there's a way to reproduce some more, that would be one way to make more of it. We would have to get those resources, but as long as we kept the notes, we should be fine.
I was just going to say, I'd like to strap the remains of the big bad there to the horse
Okay.
and take it with us.
And I was about to say, like, Lucian has a master alchemist in his bag right now.
His head's sticking out. He's with us. He can give us some tips or exposition or witty dialogue if he needs to. Yeah, something's wrong here. I can feel it in my bones.
You have a blind, not a zombie, in a bag. Like,
I'm sure he could tell many things to the queen about this tower and the fish that defended it.
More importantly, probably we now know enough about Drazat.
so you guys head out to the desert. You have the alchemist, you have the oils, you have proof of what the lizard folk are doing and what Drazat is up to. Lucian, as you're on your horse, you start to get these flashes. Like, it's very dense, very bright, and then it goes dark, and then it'll go bright again. And then on the third time where it goes dark, you find yourself away from your body. You're swimming in this pool of inky blackness, and you come across a metallic chain. As your hand reaches, it touches it, a large golden eye opens up and takes over your entire vision, and then it all goes black. And Lucian will actually collapse off of his horse and fall into the desert dunes. So Lucian is unconscious, and what did the rest of you do when you see this?
When he falls, I quickly get off my horse, go up to his body, and I start looking him over, looking for any injuries that he may have suffered during combat.
We're with him, if even just a bit ahead, to check on Lucian.
Galaxia, go ahead and make me a medicine check.
Rolled a 14.
Galaxia, as you're examining his body, there are bandages around his right shoulder. You peel the bandages back, and there seems to be teeth marks into his shoulder, piercing several points of his body. Where the teeth marks are happening, golden veins are actually reaching across his skin and heading up towards his neck, going around and hitting at the base of his skull.
All right, I don't know if this is going to work, but I'm going to try to cast protection from poison onto him.
You cast your spell. What does that magic look like exactly?
Mine is of Maliki, the goddess of the hunt. So there's a green aura to it, I guess if that's how you want to say it, because it's a nature-based type of spell. Using the powers of the forest to try to neutralize the poison.
As you spread your hands, this green aura envelops and surrounds Lucian. You feel it's working, but there is no poison in his body. It seems to alleviate like the natural-born toxins in everybody's body, but what's affecting him is not a poison.
Ellie, come and examine this gentleman here. There's something more wrong with him that it's beyond my magical abilities to heal.
Yes, let me take a look. Well, I do have I had a potion of healing. I can try offering that to him, try to have him drink it a bit.
We'll let her know that I believe that there is something more going on with his wound. I tried to see if it was poisonous. It seems that it's doing some effect, but not curing him. So I believe that he must be suffering from some type of disease or some type of other thing that I'm beyond able to heal.
Hans, Kiefer, you two do anything?
Not really, just kind of keeping an eye on the horizon and making sure nothing else is coming towards us.
Same here. I'm just gonna make sure no one else is coming and sneaking up on us.
I don't think I would see anything differently from what Galaxia is seeing with this. I examine him and also cannot.
Can you make me a medicine check?
24.
So where the bite marks are in his body, it seems to be he's affected by some type of disease. But where a disease attacks the body and starts to eat away with it, it seems like the disease is doing the reverse effect, where it's making his body change, and it seems to be some type of metamorphosis that's going on. You're not entirely sure. It's not a natural thing this is happening. This seems to be almost celestial in nature. Do you have anything for it? Any type of spells or anything of that nature?
I don't think I see anything at the moment that I can do for something that changes like that. No, I don't think so. So I essentially, I tell Galaxia this. I explain that that's what I can muster. That's what I can decipher from what I see.
Can we slow down the process? Is there a way to delay it, to slow it down? We need to get time to get him back to the to the queen and see if there's anyone there that can rid him of this or prevent this from happening. Just beyond our abilities at this moment.
DM, would I see anything about that? Would I be able to recognize anything with my roll?
With your very high medicine check, you can't stop the progression of the disease, but you can probably slow it down enough that he can get help. It's going to take about an hour or so for you to perform the correct medical procedure.
Okay, understood.
So,
If you do that, then I will assist her. It would give her advantage in case she
perfect. All right, so Galaxia and Ellie will try to dress and mend the wound as best they can. Kiefer and Hans are looking out. So in this time, we are going to stop for tonight, and we will continue this in part 4 next week. Thank you so much for listening. Tune in next week as the Sunday Knights head back to the Oasis and report to the Queen. If you like the story so far, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next week on Sunday Nights. Ellie, if you please.
Sure, let's go!